Hey guys, this is Mr. V over here doing a book review today for The Birthmark by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Before I get into my book review, I want you to know that I try to do a spoiler-free book review, so if you see me looking down occasionally, I just have notes, so I try not to give any spoilers away. So, let's get into the book review for The Birthmark by Nathaniel Hawthorne. So, the main premise for this one is it follows a person named Georgina who has a small red birthmark on her cheek. Her husband, a brilliant scientist and philosopher, becomes obsessed with what he thinks is a blemish on her beauty. So that's the main premise of this story. Now you should know that this was actually a short story, not even a full novel. And I don't remember the exact page count, but it's a very short story. And this was also written in 1843. So just understand that going in so you know the type of language they're going to be using. But you can see the main story, it just follows the main character, Georgina, and she has a birthmark, and it's her life with the birthmark, and I can't say much else. But I thought this was a very fun and interesting story. It was very short, but it was very fun and interesting because I thought that this was a very relatable story. As we all have birthmarks, we all have other types of marks too. You know, everyone has birthmarks, but also there's times where you may get a scar somewhere. You know, there's all different types of marks that people get on their bodies. And I thought it was a really fun story because there was a lot of like psychological elements to it. Because we have different marks on our bodies, that is like, okay, what do other people think of these marks? But then like, what do we think of the marks? And there's all these psychological aspects. And that's why it's a very interesting look into like the human psychology behind it. And that can be a lot of fun and when you're reading it. And as I said, it's also because it's very relatable, and that's why it's a fun look into the psychological elements. So that was very fun. Now, Nathaniel Hawthorne's writing style, I thought he did a great job writing it because he just made it very quick and simple. I said it's a very short story, but it's very quick and simple. It's easy to understand. He uses very easy terminologies, all that, and it's a very smooth flowing book, or story, sorry. And it's one that you can just pick up and finish in just one reading because it's not very long. Again, it's a very short story, but it was still a lot of fun. And I think part of it's because it's relatable and the way he wrote it. Now, as for the end, I really enjoyed the end. I thought this had a great ending, and I judge an end by many things, but I thought this had a great ending. And one of the reasons being is that it didn't leave like loose ends that you're wondering, okay, what happened, that he went down one path and he never answered something. So that's why I thought this had a great end, because he answers everything. So that's always a fun element for that. But, you know, overall, I would definitely recommend this book to everyone. I definitely recommend this book just because it's a fun look into human psychology, but he uses like simple yet relatable things like a birthmark or different blemishes that people have. And it's a very fun look into the human psychology that makes you think a lot, because it's not only, it makes you think about what do you think, but also what others think of you and like your looks and things like that. So, you know, I definitely recommend it. Now I'm going to give it my official rating right now. I always rate my books on a scale of 0 to 10, with a 0 being awful, a 5 is average, and a 10 being phenomenal. To where if it gets anywhere near a 10, that should be on your reading list because I'm a very tough critic. And a 5 is average, so it's hard to move up even 1 point. But for this book, The Birthmark, I'm going to give this book a 7. It's a very solid 7. I just thought, again, it was a solid 7 because it was a very quick read, very easy read. He wrote it very well, but it was also just a relatable story. And it's relatable in that it makes you think about human psychology a lot. And it was a lot of fun because it makes you think a lot. But if you guys have any comments, questions, anything like that, you know, please post it in the comment section below. I hope you guys click the subscribe button, as I always upload multiple different types of book reviews. But thank you for watching my book review today. This is Mr. V. Go enjoy reading.